Hi. Yes, I know it's nearly 1 a.m., but I really wanted to just finally make this video. Before I even had a YouTube channel, before I even knew I was actually going to start doing this, I always had the idea of making this video. I honestly have never been so nervous for filming a video in my entire life. I thought filming a video in German last week was stressful. My heart is pounding right now. Just over 2 years ago, I moved to Germany from Australia with my parents, which most of you are probably aware of by now. I say most of you, I mean all 20 of you that watch my videos. I am in a very small town, so obviously there's only one school, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just go to that one then. What could possibly go wrong? I am not a nervous, really anxious person. I never have problems speaking to people or making public speeches or introducing myself to new people. And I especially never have any problems asking people for help. Well, at least I didn't until I went to this school. I hadn't heard anything bad about the school before. It seemed like a just perfectly normal high school. Didn't think anything of it. Oh my god. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail into this video of what happened. I could make a series of videos, honestly, about everything that happened in this school. There's no way I can put it into one video because so much shit happened at this school. I started going to this school in my town in January 2015 and I left in June 2016. And I'm not joking at all. That period of time was by far the worst time of my entire life. I wish I was joking when I said that, I was just crying myself to sleep every night when I went to the school, but I really was. I hated it that much. Anyway, I should probably kind of get into it. I'm just saying all this stuff, but it's not really making any sense yet. So when I went into school, I spent the first 6 months in a class, and then I got kept down a year again, because obviously I couldn't understand anything, because it was all in German, and I couldn't speak German. When I found out that I was repeating a year, at first I was really upset. I was embarrassed. I felt like I was stupid, but now when I look back on it, obviously, I couldn't speak any German. I had to repeat a year, otherwise I'd just be making everything harder for myself. So for the second class, I guess you could say I was in, I had a home teacher. Oh my god. How do I describe this person? She's lovely. She's great teacher. Definitely didn't ruin my life at all. This teacher did not like me from day one, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was just because I'm not German or what it is, but she just doesn't like me. And I mean, she didn't really like anybody, but she especially didn't like me. Don't you hate that when you can just clearly see that a teacher hates you more than everybody else and they just pick on you? That's the worst thing about school when that happened. Now, I want to clarify that obviously, even though at this time I could speak a bit of German, understanding subjects like German grammar, and having to learn French in German, and all these subjects and history and geography. Imagine doing this all in German and having to try to understand really technical words when you just can only say your name and how old you are in German. So during every lesson, I couldn't understand anything. I mean, at all. I just sat there the whole time going, oh, I have no idea what's going on right now, so I'm just going to pretend I'm writing down something. I got given a dictionary, which was meant to help me, obviously, translate words. And I mean, although that idea is good in theory, do you understand when you have a sheet of paper that you have 15 minutes to do, and you don't understand every second word on it, and you have to look that up in the dictionary, that's going to take you about 15 minutes to find every single word. That's just not going to work. And then when you've not finished it in 15 minutes, you're going to get yelled at by the teacher because the teacher hates you. Okay, my phone just ran out of space, so I had to delete 30 videos, but I'm back, and I have no idea where I was. Evil teacher, school. Okay, anyway, I don't know about in other countries, but in Germany, pretty much after every subject, you get homework for every single subject, every single day. Almost. So I would say you probably got 2 hours of homework after you finish school. About. Maybe sometimes more, sometimes less. Most of the other teachers understood that I couldn't really understand anything. Although I tried to do homework, most of the time, because I didn't understand anything that was going on in the lesson, it was terrible. But most of the teachers understood that because I didn't understand anything and they let me off. But this one particular class teacher I had just didn't seem to understand that I can't learn an entire language in a year and a half. It doesn't work like that. You're probably wondering, if you didn't understand homework, why didn't you just ask one of your classmates? My classmates absolutely hated me, and if I texted them to ask what homework was, they would just ignore my text messages. Yay! Great! Friendship! And then I'd get yelled at the next day when I went to school because I hadn't done it. I'm like, I couldn't understand anything. And this teacher thought I was doing it to be naughty. No, I'm not that person that won't hand in homework. I am a good student. I just didn't understand anything. So this teacher basically hated me because of this issue that was constantly happening. There were obviously several other issues that, as I said, I'm not going to go on about, but basically this whole cycle of shitness in this school made me cry myself to sleep every night and have panic attacks about twice a day during the school. So, I mean, I basically hated life at this point, but I thought, really, you know, what could possibly make this worse? Like, surely nothing could make this worse. I know that for, like, people that are starving to death or whatever, this is, like, such a first world problem, but, like, I seriously was not ever truly happy for one single second in that year and a half. And obviously there were moments where I was laughing and smiling and having fun, but there was always this thing in the back of my mind that I knew I had to go back to that school, whether it was in 2 days and it was a weekend, or after a 2-week holiday, or even if it was the next morning. I always knew I had to go back to that school, and just the thought of going back there made me in just this constant panic mode. Like, I was just never relaxed. Never. Basically, one day I was in class with this teacher that hated me, and she was speaking to me, and I didn't understand a word she said in a sentence, so I asked her, what does this word mean? And I'm not even joking, I've never seen this happen, and I don't truly to this day understand how this is possible for a teacher to do, but she just lost her absolute shit at me. She got so pissed. She was like, how dare you ask me a question? Like, yeah, you know, that's your job as a teacher. No, apparently not. Apparently you're not allowed to ask teachers what something means. There's this other girl in my class that also was not German, and she came, I think, 6 months after me, and she had learned German a lot faster than me. And I mean, I can't help that. She wasn't doing any less, like, learning than me. It's just some people learn faster than others. It's just how people work. I can't help it. I was trying my best to learn German as fast as I could. As I said, she just lost her shit at me and was screaming at me in front of the class just because I asked this question about what a word meant in German. And she was just like, you're so annoying, you always ask questions, like, what's wrong with you? How come you can't speak German by now? Like, look at this other girl, she can speak German so much better than you, what's wrong with you? You need to learn German, oh my god. Like, surprisingly, at the moment that this happened, I was in so much shock that I didn't cry. Like, I didn't cry about it until I'd gone home and that night, and I was just like, why does everybody hate me? But, like, during the actual moment, I was in such shock, like, that everything was so calm and peaceful in the classroom, and then all of a sudden, she's just screaming her tits off at me. And really, when I say it, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but really it was terrible for me. Since this point on in my life, and even now, even though that was like, I don't know, 7-8 months ago, I still have this fear of asking anybody, including my parents, for help. Because I just have this fear in the back of my mind that they're going to start screaming at me. Because the teacher's like, oh, you should know this by now. And now I just have this thought with anything I don't understand that I should know it. And I shouldn't ask because that would be annoying and rude. If you were ever explaining something to me and I have like a worried look on my face, I'm like, yeah, I understand. I don't understand. I do this worried look on my face because I'm like panicking, because it's the same like panic thing that I felt when I was in the school, where I'm like, I can't ask for help because I'm going to be yelled at, but like then I can't do the work, and then, oh god. I mean, I guess to try and make this story end on a happy note, the only happy memory I have from this school was when I left it. I remember just walking out the school gates for the last time ever and just feeling so happy. I never have to see any of these people ever again, and that was just like the best feeling. I really don't know how to end this video now. As I said, this was just one of many terrible things that happened in the school that made me want to leave and that made me hate my life for that period of time I was in it. But this was just probably the biggest thing that really gives me anxiety about asking people for help to this day. But yeah, I will see you probably this weekend with a vlog, which will be slightly more pleasant than this and slightly less screaming. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope that you got to know me a bit better because of this now. Why am I putting all this stuff about me on the internet? And I will see you whenever. Bye.